This is ATL Day Ones, part of Locked On Sports Atlanta. And it starts now.
Welcome into ATL Day Ones with Jarvis and Tenitra. We want to say thank you for making ATL Day Ones your first listen of the day. Remember, we're free and available wherever you download your podcast. And wherever you download your podcast, you leave us a 5-star review. Why wouldn't you do that? Go ahead and spread the good news in a Christian way. And if you're not Christian, do it in just a really, really good way. Because, you don't want to keep greatness a secret. Always spread that. Always tell a friend to tell a friend, tell a friend. Really appreciate for that in advance. Now, T, the Braves lost to the Seattle Mariners. We'll talk about that. Kenley Jansen, people want him fired. Everybody want to go to church. They want to go to Raciel Iglesias. So we'll have a conversation about that. And we have to talk about the Falcons versus the Saints, the good, the bugly, and the surprising. We'll explain. And last but not least, and for the culture, we're gonna give Arthur Smith a history lesson about this city. But before we do that, we have to talk about the Braves losing to the Mariners. Specifically yesterday, T, the Braves had an amazing ninth inning. Michael Harris absolutely just killing like normal. The kid is just out there just doing his absolute thing. The Braves feel like the Braves got this doggone win, and then that dude that they got over there that was in the home run derby,
Yes.
he started, he did his thing. He started the party, and then his teammate came on and closed that bad boy out, and Kenley Jansen closes it, blows another save, and then just here we are, T.
Here we are. But you know what? I don't know, Jarvis. Should I start my Braves commentary on a low note and end on a high note, or go vice versa? So I'm going to go with low note to the high so that you and I can at least have some happy going out of this Braves segment.
Yes, please.
But you know
Help
what?
me, please.
Yes. We both know that Brian Snitker is in all likelihood going to stick with Kenley Jansen as his closer. Maybe Raciel Iglesias gets a save here or a save there, opportunity that is. But as far as from here to the end of the regular season, probably into the postseason, it's Kenley Jansen. And don't get me wrong, we appreciate the 33 saves. However, the 7 blown saves and the fact that 3 of those 7 have come in the last 7 opportunities. So take the 40 and break it down to 7 and see that 3 blown saves came at the same time. That's the disconcerting thing, because when you look at Will Smith, and I sent you a note that said, it's that like that Spider-Man meme. Are you? No, you. Is it you? Is it you? Because it feels like the same.
I know you.
Yeah, I know you, because you're one and the same. Like it's like Will Smith all over again. Except of course with Will Smith, one thing about him is he would bail himself out a lot of the time. Whereas Kenley Jansen he's gonna come in, probably give up that home run or 2, and then we're done here. It's a blown save. So that's what kind of concerns me on whether or not how much he's going to go through. And also, Jarvis, can we stop being the up and down? Because if you talk about the fact that you improved your mechanics and then we see it in the save, but then you go and you blow it the next save, we're scratching our heads. Like, again, that would be the Spider-Man meme of which Kenley Jansen is it? Is it you? Is it you? Is it you? But we said we're going to end on the positive for my part of the Braves. So I'm going to do just that, because Michael Harris II makes all of us happy. That should make Atlanta sports base, with all that PTSD that you went through yesterday. Just remember Michael Harris II. Your native son is absolutely killing it. We talked about this Friday, the fact that he is unbelievable when there is a runner in scoring position. We said at that time his average was 400. It's now up to 403. With players in scoring position. That's second best in the majors among, of course, players with, about 250 plate appearances. But this was the other number, Jarvis, that I thought was so cool in ending on a high note. He is so clutch that when it comes to 7th, 8th, and 9th innings, it is different for Money Mike. The only player this entire season with a higher average in that 100 plus inning plate appearances and that 7th and 9th inning time frame, Aaron Judge. There it is.
Wow. Yeah, and when you think about like 2 home runs, and he's always been the clutch. Like, as the game goes on, the
Yeah.
better he gets as a hitter, and that tells you something, right? That means he's making adjustments. He's learning from his earlier bats. He's like, okay, he's trying to pitch me this way. Here's what he's trying to do.
Mhm.
And when you have a guy that's a rookie,
Yes.
who I think at this point hasn't even played 100 games in the major leagues, you gotta think that this dude is gonna be really good. So that makes me happy. So I'm glad that you brought Michael Harris up, because when you think about guys making in-game adjustments like that at that young of an age, it
Mhm.
just really speaks to the type of player that he is, and the people that have helped him along the way as
Yes.
he's made it to when he made that jump from AA up into the major leagues. And I think that's going to make me happy. So what also is going to make me happy is that tonight Spencer Strider's on the mound. I think he's gonna stop this win streak.
Oh.
At first pitch 9:45 against the
Mhm.
San Francisco Giants. They have
Mhm.
Alex Cobb on the mound. I think that this is going to be something that we can definitely look forward to. The Braves potentially getting the dub and get off this 2-game losing streak here. But
Okay.
the doggone Georgia Bulldogs, they blanked the doggone Sanford. But I had a little bit of something that I was a little bit concerned about. We'll talk about that. But before we do that, though, tell the folks about what's going on at Bet Online.
Yeah, betonline.net. So listen, I was kind of peeking around, right, to kind of see some interesting things in terms of the Braves. We know
Right.
that they're now a game and a half back, and we expect that they're going to climb back into first place. But what do other people think about that? What does betonline.net think about that? If you want to know, check it out, because really they give you all the information that you need to make informed decisions about betting. So whether you are somebody who is an ace and you think you know all of it, they still have some information for you on their podcast in addition to their website. Or if you're a novice, they literally have a page that is dedicated to betting beginners. So check that out. And they also have pages and some insight. I went on the site this morning to just kind of check some things out. And so they'll give you information on the bigger, our big three, I guess you could say: NFL, NBA, MLB, but they'll also give you information on those niche sports like golf. So check out betonline.net, because that is definitely where the game begins. So again, even if you want to see if by chance the line has moved for the Falcons as they head out to take on the LA Rams after things happen on Sunday, then betonline.net is still your source. That is still the place you want to see as to where the line moves and how you should bet. Betonline.net.
Is where the game starts. Go ahead and check them out. Now, speaking of betting, Stetson Bennett is a guy that the Georgia Bulldogs betted on. Coming into the season for as a starter for the first time in his 12-year career as a quarterback, college quarterback. I'm joking. I'm joking.
I know.
For all you Georgia fans, please don't come at me, please. Don't
But
come
it
at me.
is 7 years,
But
so you weren't far off.
right. Yeah, one too far off. Yes, exactly. So I think that, as this game, got going, it seemed like obviously the offense got off to a little bit of a slow start. And, Stetson Bennett looked like he was trying to be a little bit of Stetson Bennett, gunslinger, type of situation. And then the offense finally got things going. They settled down. And I think that, that was something that you look for in veterans, and as a quarterback, and Todd Monken as the play caller. Hey, don't try to make this thing more difficult than what it actually is. And I think the Georgia Bulldogs end up doing that by
Mhm.
end up winning the game 33-0.
Yeah, I would agree. And we know that they're going to make those necessary adjustments. We're not going
Right.
to see that kind of performance when they head to South Carolina any more than we're going to see Alabama perform like they did against Texas and have 15 penalties again in a week, right? That's not going to
Right.
happen, because that's not how the dogs are built. That's not
Right.
how Kirby Smart is built. So they're going to go back into that lab and figure out how to get that running game going just a little bit more, figure out how to really get Stetson Bennett on the same page that we saw him on against Oregon with his tight ends, utilizing all of those tight ends, and just really, like you said, coming around and understanding that it is important for you to just stick to the plan. Don't make it more difficult than it has to be. And remember, not that you want to over rely on him, but there is a reason that you are literally 82-3, outscoring your opponents. And that's really a testament to your defense, because I thought this was cool. They are a little bit ahead of last year's vaunted defense with not giving up any touchdowns through 2 games. So I thought that was pretty darn impressive. But yeah, this offense, don't expect to see this in South Carolina next week. They'll bounce back just fine.
No doubt about it, and that's the reason why they are the number one team in the country. And we talked about on this show. Hey, they got 17 votes last time, and because everybody else started to notice, now everyone is on notice. Yes,
Yeah.
Georgia is the number one team in the entire country, because the fact that Alabama had to go down to the wire with Texas, yeah, go ahead and bump those guys down. Yeah, I think Kirby Smart would gladly leapfrog his former uh, former boss, so to speak. But yeah, T, before we get out here, we got to talk about something that happened that was very, very interesting. Now, Atlanta United had a hat trick of headers.
Yes.
Please explain for the folks that don't understand.
It was an absolute showcase. We call soccer the beautiful game, and it was really, really a beautiful game against Toronto. So it's a 4-2 win that they were able to get. But yeah, like you said, a hat trick is one thing that's super duper special. But when you start talking about getting with headers, not one, not two, but three, I mean, Juanjo Parada just did his thing. And he's been doing this since the day he joined the club. So it's exciting to see that there's consistency and continuity there. And Thiago Almada, of course, I was talking about him as really arguably their best player on the roster right now. And of course, not only did he hit what was an amazing goal, might be MLS goal of the week, but also he was in on the assist to some of Parada's goals. So I think that, as we spoke of last week, don't know what's going to happen with Joseph Martinez. He comes back off suspension tomorrow. But I still say, with those young guns in place, and they showed you what they were able to do offensively and to some degree defensively, because, hey, they walked away with 3 points as opposed to a draw or a loss. I think United, I'm going to say, they're still trending in the right direction.
Yeah, and that's what you hope for, because, like I said, we've talked ad nauseum about what's going to happen with Jose Martinez and how they probably just need to move on and start this and build this thing back up to where it used to be. Now, T, Arthur Smith is trying to build this team up, in his second year as a head coach of this team, and let's just say it was a mixed bag. We'll talk about all that next, right here on ATL Day Ones with Jarvis and T, part of Locked On Sports Atlanta. Don't go anywhere.